All right, y'all. It's Black History Month, and so we're going to focus on the black family. We're focusing on the black family. How can we get that back in order, right? Well, one of the things that we have that's an issue with us getting together is looking for other people to help us to do that. They're not going to do that. I don't think they're going to do that, and I wouldn't bet on them doing that. However, there are government programs that try to help us to get back in alignment, right? However, our community a lot of times doesn't be able to take advantage of these opportunities because of the what's the word I want to use? The socialization of black men in particular, where they're socialized to be these, just crazy individuals, wrecking balls in the black community. Now, how did that all happen? That is a lengthy process that is happening. It's a systematic process. It's not just, hey, black people just wake up and want to be wrecking balls. That's not how it goes. There's an incentive process that's involved with this unofficially, and so, but we can get into that. We'll see how we're going to look at it, but right now I want to talk about Thomas Sowell, and Thomas Sowell is a brilliant economic speaker, and however, I disagree with Mr. Sowell on a couple of different things. Some of the things that he brings up, and the reason why I disagree with him on some of these things is because what he would say is the cause is the branch and not the root. And to me, to solve a problem, the best way to solve a problem is to go to the root of the problem instead of coming out on the branch and saying that this branch of the problem is the problem itself. No, the branch is only a portion of the problem. It's not the total problem, right? So solving one branch, you still have the total problem. You just took that branch off. Another branch is going to eventually pop out, right? Unless you go to the root and take care of the problem at the root. But there's reasons why they don't do that. So anyway, we're going to talk about Mr. Sowell right now. We're going to get into his, he's going to say that affirmative action is a bad thing. Now, do I think affirmative action is a bad thing? I don't think affirmative action is a bad thing. I think it has to be used the proper way. I think the way that it has been used has been ineffective, right? And so on top of the value system that has been given to young black men, that the value system that has been made fair seeming to them, it's hard for them to succeed, and then on top of that, to be thought of the way they're thought of in the population, by the general population. That is stressful enough in itself. But there's a lot of issues that Mr. Sowell does not take in from what I've seen and heard from him. He doesn't take these things into account in the crunching of the numbers. Anyway, let's listen to Mr. Sowell.
Has said he prefers the original non-discrimination. Judge Bork has said he prefers the original non-discrimination concept of affirmative action. This means that he would permit and would actively permit active recruitment of qualified minorities, among other things.
Okay. Did you hear what he said? He said qualified. You just get it because you're black. This man said qualified, right? That's what I heard him say. So he didn't say that you just because you're black, you just get to come up here. He said qualified, right? All right, let's continue.
The alternative, as you know, is some form of mandatory proportional representation for minorities, or quotas, to put it in one word. Now, do you believe that mandatory proportional representation benefits minorities.
No. In fact, I think one of the great handicaps that blacks and other minorities face across the country is that they are systematically mismatched with universities in the admissions process.
Why? They're just offering you you don't have to take it. But to be offered it to you, who knows what may happen. So, see, this is right here. So he says because blacks fail sometimes at being in these top universities, therefore they should not be even given the opportunity. That's crazy. That is crazy. Failure is a part of success. Failure is a part of success. How can you succeed without some failures? Right? You can't, you don't learn everything out of a book. Some things you have to experience for yourself. You can't just learn everything out of a book. But here, Mr. Sowell says, hey, because a portion of the black students that go to MIT and Harvard and Yale or whatever, because they fail, therefore these opportunities should not be put out to them, right? Even though that it's the right thing to do, right? That everybody should be represented, right? I mean, goddamn, that's the whole point you left England, right? If you was so happy with not being represented, you'd have your ass right back there in England, right? Or Ireland or Scotland or whatever the hell you came from, right? If you didn't want everybody to have the freedom to be represented, you'd have your ass back over in England, right? But okay, we're gonna continue. We're gonna continue because it sounds a little hypocritical to me, right?
That is, if Harvard feels that it must have X% of blacks, and if the pool is such that they can't get X% of blacks at the same level as the rest of the Harvard students, they're going to take those blacks who would have succeeded in some state university and bring them to Harvard, where many of them will fail, or MIT.
So what? So they fail. So what? White students fail. So what? The failure is not the issue. The opportunity is the issue. I thought, right? 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 Or let's go back to England, where you just got a king and a queen, and that's it. That's only people who can get money, right? Right? I mean, I thought that's why you came over here, right? Because everybody was going to have an opportunity. Huh? But, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You can take the Negro out of the hood, but you can't take the hood out of the Negro, right? Right? You can take the tyrant out of England, but you can't take the England out of the tyrant, right? Can't take the Europe out of the tyrant, right? Ay. But we came here so that everybody could be represented in the government. Oh, okay. But we just don't want you represented. Now that we're here, we're gonna do like England did us. We don't want you represented. Ay. Okay, let's go.
MIT is a better example that the average black student at MIT is in the bottom 10% of MIT students in math. But he is in the top 90% of all American students in math because MIT students are so phenomenal in mathematics. Something like 1/4 of all the black students going to MIT do not graduate. You're talking about a pool of people who score at the 90th percentile in math whom you are...
What does that got to do with the opportunity? What does that got to do with the opportunity? 90% of the people that smoke cigarettes will die of some form of lung cancer or lung disease. But the government still makes sure they got an opportunity to get that cancer if they pay the money to get it. Right? They even make sure that those deadly products are able to be in America. They make sure. You don't have to make sure that gets across the border. The government makes sure that those things get across the border. Right? But we're talking about opportunity versus success. And opportunity is not related to success. Opportunity is only related because you have to go through opportunity to get to success or failure. But many people fail before they succeed. But of course, Mr. Sowell says, no. You either graduate or that's it. No, I mean, some people graduate at first, and then they don't, and some people, life hits them, and they don't graduate on time or whatever. The point is, they should be afforded the opportunity, right? If you have been a marginalized community, yet you have paid your taxes, you have done it, why shouldn't you get an opportunity to even the playing field? Because I suppose, based on the Constitution, that it's supposed to be a freedom for everyone, and everyone should be represented in the government. That's what I thought that this country was built on, allegedly, right? Until it comes to black people, right? All right, here we go.
Artificially turning into failures by mismatching them with the school. Back much earlier, you had a great increase of blacks in the universities through the GI Bill. You had nothing like that kind of attrition from that process because the student went wherever he could be accepted, wherever he met the normal standards, and the government simply paid the money.
Okay, that's Tom Sowell, and he's talking about that there shouldn't be no quotas, and in reality, there shouldn't be. I'm just saying, in reality, in theory, there shouldn't be, right? The best people who score the best should go. But we know that a lot of times minorities, let me just talk about blacks. Other minorities can talk about their own. I'm going to talk about black people. We know as black people, man, a lot of times opportunities are denied to us, not through, straight out, but systematically. They're denied to us that if we had the opportunity, we could level the playing field here. This ideology is the reason why crime is so high in the black community. This ideology is the reason why single motherhood is so high, or single parenthood is so high in the black community, because it's the idea that, well, since the numbers are so skewed of success, therefore, why try, right? And I'm saying that I don't disagree with Dr. Sowell's, on everything. Many things I do, but not on everything. The guy's very intelligent. I'm not going to take that away from him, but I just disagree with him on his breakdown because he does not include a lot of the social issues that cause a lot of these breakdowns to happen. He does not include that, and in the reason why this stuff is breaking down, right? So therefore, you're not getting an accurate depiction of the situation. You're only getting it by the numbers, and if you only look at certain numbers, you're only going to get a skewed view of the situation. That's in my opinion. What do you think? What do you think? Do I think affirmative action needs to be in place? I don't know whether you want to call it affirmative action or set aside programs or whatever you want to call it. Whatever we need to do to include as many people of diversity as possible, and let me just talk about black people. We need to do it to include black people, more successful black people, into the American way of life, the suggested and supposed American way of life. 2 cars, a house with the picket fence in the backyard for the kids to play with and trampoline, right? However we can do that, let's do it. If that means giving some opportunities and extra opportunities in the collegiate arena, hey, let's do it. In the business arena, hey, let's do it, right? But what we need to do is to change the mentality of the young black male. We need to get young black men to understand what's going on in the situation. Well, guess what? We got a program that we want to teach these young men. We got a program, man. We want to teach them and get them off the crime, get them off the sex, get them off of where sex has its place, but we got to teach them how to put sex in its place. Oh, Clarence, they should know that already. They should know that already, right? That's how Mr. Sowell would look at it, right? Well, they should know that already. What do you mean? You put the banana in the tailpipe, right? But they don't know. How would they know unless they've been taught? And if they come up in a fatherless environment, how would they be taught? Well, Clarence, that's just send them to prison. Whoa, wait a minute. We gotta what we gotta do, man, we gotta think about this thing, man, so we can get our community together, at least the black community together. I'm telling you, man, if the black community comes together, you know how far crime in America would drop? This would be a plus for everybody across the board, all races, if we can get the black community together. But see, people don't look at it like that, man. People don't look at it like that. They could look at it like this, right? They just got the Ronald Reagan perspective, right? Well, if your kid ain't doing good in school, F them. Forget money for tutoring. Forget money for education, right? Ronald Reagan took all that money out of the education budget, right? Oh, Clarence, you talking about Reagan? I am. I'm just telling the truth. I thought we were telling the truth. We just tell the truth. Anyway, y'all, let me tell you. Let me see what y'all think. I am no, Princeton or Harvard economist. All I can just say is if you get the black men together to do, be better men, I think the women will follow, and the society will follow, and the black community will follow. Crime will drop, violence will drop, and for not only the black community, but just nationwide, right? Let's get black men off of drugs. Let's get them. Let's get them off of drugs. Let's get them off of random sex. Let's get them off of all of these different hallucinogens that's got them crazy. Let's get them to build their community, build their families, stick to their families. But we can't do it lying to them, telling them, hey, the government helping you out is your problem. That's your problem. Not black men. That's not black men's problem. Black men's problem is the acceptance of a societal norms that say to them, hey, you're supposed to be this crazy, good for nothing wrecking ball in the black community, and you're supposed to, the only value you have is creating envy and jealousy in the other Negroes for all of the goodies that you was able to get out of this world, however you was able to do it. We got to stop that. Anyway, go check our GoFundMe. We're trying to raise money to open our doors. I got a place, I got a facility, I got a teaching. I am very qualified to teach. So we can still teach. We just want to have our own facility, and we got a nonprofit that we started. We just waiting for the paperwork to come back from the state. We are open. We want to open our doors, but we need this money. We need this money so that we can open our doors and have the young men come in and do classwork, classroom training. We do the manhood training in the classroom, and then we can take them in the back of the facility where we have the dojo and workout portion of the facility where they can work out, but they can hit the bags, they can lift weights, they can do whatever, and they can learn a lot of different other street survival information so that they're not just walking around on the street being victims of other wrecking balls coming through the black community. All right, man, if you think that's a good idea, you think reducing crime in the black community and across the nation is a good idea, if you think reducing the violence against women and children by black men is a good idea. If you think these are good ideas, go ahead, hit the GoFundMe. Give me $20. Give me $100. Give me $50. Give me $10. $5, whatever you can spare. Give it to us. Let us get this money. Let us open this facility. I'll show you, and I'll show you, and I will think of something that I can do for everybody who donated money. I'll think of something. Right now, I'm so geeked about trying to get the facility that I'm just trying to do that. But I mean, I need to slow down and think about that. But man, I just need your help. I just need your help. Please help us. All right, go down in the description and hit the GoFundMe. You can see the pictures of the facility. You can see the video of the facility. I did a video about when I walked through the facility and how we're going to do it and do the renovations, everything. You could go see that. I put a price list on what we need this money for down there. You can see everything. So go down there and check that out. All right, peace.